everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing to you my 2024 reading goals. I'm very much a planner. I love to kind of write things out in my bullet journal, like my goals for the year. And one of the things I always like to kind of make a section for when I'm writing out my goals for the new year is kind of my reading goals, and I always like to share them with you. I think it's always fun to see kind of how much progress I've made, if I kind of stuck to these goals. And these ones are kind of very loosely, I follow them loosely, they're kind of more of kind of things that I would like to achieve, but I don't beat myself up if I don't reach it. So these are kind of my 5 goals that I want to kind of have for my reading in 2024. So without further ado, let's get started. First up, every year I always plan to read 50 books. I always think 50 is just a good number for me to strive for, because sometimes some years it is I surpass it quite a bit, and some years it is hard for me to get to. Like in 2023, I had such a really bad reading slump, so I'm kind of pre-filming this a little bit early, but I may not reach this goal as of this point. I don't know if I reached it or not, but it's definitely I think it's a good feasible goal, and like I said, I don't beat myself up for not getting to it. It's just a nice kind of round number to kind of work towards. So like I said, 50 I think is really good, and I'm quite a slow reader, so I think getting 50 books is pretty pretty good to get to every year. My second goal for 2024 is to really take down my TBR. I've done a really good job at kind of not really accumulating a lot of books in 2023, so my main kind of focus both in 2023 and 2024 is really to kind of take down my TBR. So these are all the books that I have on my TBR. I really kind of want to focus of reading the ones that I have on my shelf and prioritizing those over, and it's always fun to it's okay to read new releases, but not just keep accumulating it. Really focus on the books that I currently own and kind of prioritizing those for the ones that I want to kind of read in 2024. Of course, if there's a new release that I'm excited about, I'm not gonna let myself read it because I want to finish a TBR book. I think that's okay, but I do want to really kind of focus on the books that I have not read yet on my shelves. This is another one that is carry over from 2023, and it is to continue my book buying ban, and it is not a complete total ban on book buying, but essentially what I did in 2023 is that I limited myself to buying 14 books throughout the entire year. So it is basically a book a month with 2 little extra ones. And because I was very vocal about this with my fiance and my family, I felt like it helped hold me accountable. So when it came to 2023, I only purchased I think 10 books for the entire year, and I'm very proud of that. I do think there are definitely more new releases that are coming out in 2024 that I'm definitely gonna pick up. But like I said, I'm not going to restrict myself from enjoying or buying a book that I'm really excited to read. This is just, I think, applied to kind of books that have been out for a while that I just haven't picked up. But I think having that strict limit to 14 kind of really holds me accountable, makes me more conscientious of the books that I'm bringing in and adding to my TBR. So like I said, I was able to really stick to it last year, and I hope I'm able to do that as well. My fourth goal is to read a little bit more historical fiction. When I was really getting into reading kind of towards the end of my undergrad, I really read a lot of historical fiction, and as I've joined BookTube and kind of looking back at the books that I've read, you can see a very big shift in kind of what I read now versus when I started out BookTube. And I kind of want to get back to my roots, although I do really love kind of fantasy, and that's been the main genre that I tend to read now. I do want to kind of go back to the historical fictions, and I definitely have a few on my shelf that I'm really excited to read. So I think that will help me kind of get motivated and get reintroduced to this genre. I'm just really excited to there's some really exciting books that I'm really excited to dive in and to kind of re-fall in love again with historical fiction, because there's been some historical fictions that I've read kind of scattered throughout 2023, and I'm like, man, why don't I read more historical fiction? And because I do enjoy it so much. So I kind of want to keep up with that and kind of reintroduce myself to this genre. And lastly, this is again kind of related to my TBR, but my last goal is to finish all of the unfinished series that I own that are currently on my TBR. So there are a few series in here where I have either the last book or the last 2 books in the series on my shelf, and I definitely want to kind of finish those. I'm very much like a series, if I can marathon a series, I like to marathon them, read them all in kind of one go. And so there's a few series on my shelf that I would definitely want to kind of get to and just kind of check off my list for 2024. So again, this also kind of ties in with my TBR, so it does help keep me motivated and kind of focusing on the books that I currently own. So yeah, that's kind of what my plan is, to kind of help me kind of finish the books and check off the books off my TBR in 2024. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of your reading goals are for 2024 and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.